that just weights you down.
How did you handle that, Brittany? Was that not a problem for you? I mean, were the girls on the trip upset about that, I guess is the question.
I think everybody handled it pretty good, yeah.
Everybody was prepared for what they were going to experience?
Yeah, I'm pretty good about, I think, sharing with them what to expect. I mean, there's no surprises usually on the trip. I mean,
do you meet with the students before you leave?
Yeah, how does that work? Are you in a classroom experience at all beforehand? Or?
Yeah, we met a few times beforehand. I gave them the opportunity to take canoes out on the marsh so they can get a little bit of, you know, some people that go on this trip have never been in a canoe before in their life. And that can be kind of frightening if you get on a river and you don't know what you're doing and you're paddling in circles. And you know, we work with them, and you know, the best way to learn is to just get out there and do it. So, you know, you learn quickly on these trips. That's the nice thing.
I think since you had a video person there, obviously you guys should make a movie or something.
You said it's on YouTube, is that right?
Yeah, this little video clip that we brought along is on YouTube. It's only it's a short video, but it gets you kind of an idea of how we live. I think it shows us cooking, it shows us
campsite.
It shows our campsites, it shows us hiking and doing all the things that we do on these trips. So.
We might have that up on Facebook sometime soon.
I could put that on the Muscatine Community College Facebook page.
All right, let's do that. Yeah. Absolutely.
And all the viewers, if you're not already, better be like the Muscatine Community College Facebook page.
And we have a Nahant Marsh Facebook page too, so we should be friends.
Oh, we should.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Remind
great.
me to do that when I get back to the office.
We'll get that done today.
Yeah.
She's on top of that Facebook, let me tell you. So whoever does not have her as a friend on Facebook or MCC, the page, make sure you do get her on there. You're going to get a lot of information.
I'll get you all the latest info.
Exactly,
promise.
Exactly.
Right.
So is there anything that we missed? Anything that we probably should have covered, or what else you'd like to talk about?
We've got some pictures.
Well, we've got some pictures of just stuff that happens at the marsh. This is one of our interns, Becky, this semester. She's showing a group of kids some of our turtles doing an educational program. So.
The one that was like going to snap on us.
Yeah, so this is a rare turtle that we have at Nahant Marsh. This is actually an endangered species in Iowa and Illinois. It's called the Blandings turtle. And we've been doing some surveys for them. We actually were able to find 11 of them this year, which is actually a pretty decent population. This is an animal that's disappearing or has disappeared everywhere where it formerly was. So
what do you mean you had to go find them? Like,
well, we set traps for them, you know, not to kill them, but to measure them and weigh them, and then we mark them in a special way.
But don't you get other animals that aren't supposed to be in the trap
Well, we get other turtles, but so we weigh them and measure them too and send them on their way. So this is a picture of a trash cleanup that we did down there. You know, one of the issues is we still have people around that think it's okay to dump illegally. So we're part of the extreme cleanup event that happens. We get about 100 volunteers down there in August, and you know, just walk the roads along the marsh and pull all kinds of trash out of there. Try to keep it clean. You know, that's one part of it. Is it's a natural setting, so we don't want a bunch of man-made trash laying in there. So that's a great event. We get
that's a lot of trash.
Excited people out. That was just a drop in the bucket, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So
what if somebody wants to help you in August? What do they have to do?
Well, you can get on our website, nahantmarsh.org, and look for these events. We also have a spring cleanup that we do. We do tree plantings down there. We have every year we try to plant about 100 trees or so in different areas of the preserve to reestablish some forest there. What we're looking at behind us is mainly prairie, and we want to keep that prairie, but we have other pieces of our property that we want to try to get nice forests going. So
nahantmarsh.org.
nahantmarsh.org.
NAHANT marsh.org.
That's right.
Okay.
Wow. Fire's really cool, and this ties in with the conservation program. This ties in with managing the place. So to keep that marsh a prairie, we have to light it on fire once in a while. Now, we don't just go out and throw some matches down and let her burn. We actually do this in a very controlled way. I'm a certified wildland firefighter. Most of the people that come down and assist with this are certified wildland firefighters. And we do this in a set way. This is a great opportunity for our students to learn too. So we're tied in with some agencies locally in the Quad Cities that we're going to be able to offer this federal training, which is a federal certification for our students. Once they get that red card is what it's called, they can actually go and fight wildfires out west if they want to. They can simply help us with controlled burns down at the marsh, or prescribed burns is what we call them. And it's a tremendous opportunity for our students too. But it's also really just cool to watch a nice fire like that.
Talk about bonfire, huh?
Yeah. So like I said, we get a lot of different groups down there that help us out. These are a group of high school students that came down, helped us plant those first 100 trees that we planted back in 2008 or 2009. I can't remember when now, but and those trees are thriving. So we planted oaks and pecans, and hopefully someday we'll have a nice oak and pecan forest for the wildlife to enjoy down there.
Very cool.
And like I said, it's not just adults that come down there. We have lots of different school kids that come down to learn about nature, and so that's another opportunity for students. A student that might want to get into education can volunteer or become an intern at NAHANT and help us with these school groups.
So if my mom teaches 3rd grade, she could bring her class for a field trip?
She could. That's a possibility, yeah.
Have very many people that do that?
Yeah, we have thousands of school kids down there every year. So the biggest user, of course, is Davenport. Davenport's closest to us, but we get school groups from all over the place. As far away as central Iowa have come down for educational field trips and tours and things like that. So.
It's right in
I'll
her
have to
backyard.
tell
You're gonna have to tell
her.
her. If she's not already doing it, maybe she's,
maybe.
who knows?
So these are some of our volunteers. People got pretty grungy at our last extreme cleanup that we had in August, digging trash out of the marsh. But it's a tremendously rewarding thing. You can actually see what you've done. You can see that you've made a difference. In just 3 hours' time, they were able to pull all that debris out of the marsh. So it's incredible. So not only do we have rare animals down there, but we have rare plants. This is one that we rediscovered down there this year. It's called the ear-leaved false foxglove, which who cares about a little plant, but it's a protected plant that used to be a lot more common, and now you can only really find it in a few places still in Iowa, and it's another thing that's disappeared from pretty much everywhere where it used to be found. So
do you know about all these plants?
You
saw that and you're like, oh, that's
well, I know now after I looked it up. So
So how do you look something like that up, though?
Well, that's what we teach students in our class, and actually we have a local flora class that we're going to offer up at the marsh this spring, which is a great class. This is what a lot of local conservation agencies told us, that that they hire people and they don't know how to identify plants. So we decided to create a course called Local Flora, where we teach people how to identify our local plants, which is critically important. Without plants, you don't have animals, and so on and so forth.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
For my teacher
She's raising
here.
her hand.
It's for her teacher.
Is this class through the college, or is it just one of the things you guys offer?
This is a course through the college. It's a 3-credit course. It's transferable to places like Western Illinois, so.
I think I might be doing that.
Yeah, it's on Fridays.
Register November 9th.
Yeah, Friday mornings is when the course will be offered. I don't think I'll be teaching it. I'd like to, but I think we've got somebody very knowledgeable about plants that's going to teach it, so should be a great course.
Cool. I'm sure you'll have a good outcome with that.
We get lots of fun things that happen down at the marsh. There's me waiting to work one morning during the 2008 floods. Flooding is a natural part of these wetland ecosystems along the river. So we have to deal with that from time to time. 2008 floods were pretty significant, as everybody knows, but we actually had 3 floods this year down at Nahant Marsh, and that actually just presents a wonderful opportunity to study how flooding affects things like plants or animals. And so we can design experiments and do them right there on site. That could be something students do. So actually one of our students is doing a tree study this semester. He's seeing how flooding affects trees, and he's going to go and core out bores of trees, and you can go back in time by looking at them and see how the flooding has affected those trees over the last 15 or 20 or 30 years.